Hi everyone, we are continuing our tutorials on Unreal Media Server. My name is Max, I'm one of the architects of Unreal Media Server, and this tutorial is going to be about WebRTC. We have added full WebRTC support in our latest version, version 13. Let me first show you how we can stream from RTSP camera to WebRTC player. Let's create a new live broadcast of that type. Let's call it Webcam and put the RTSP URL. That's the RTSP URL to my GeoVision RTSP camera. Okay. Let's try to play it with our own player first. Alright, that's an HD content from RTSP camera. And notice, I want to show you on the properties. Notice it encodes H.264 and it encodes G711. WebRTC calls it PCMU, ULOW, G711 ULOW. So that's one of the encodings supported by WebRTC directly, so you don't need any transcoding. So if your camera encodes G711, you can directly play it with WebRTC player on any browser, any device, pretty much. Okay, let's try to play it with WebRTC player. So that broadcast. So to do that, you need to have a web page with our WebRTC player. You can get the web page from our website, from this demo. So you can pretty much just copy that web page from our demo site. Currently it plays the RTSP camera from California. So just, view source. This script is our WebRTC player. You can host that script in your website as well. So you can just save that source and put it under your web server. And you can also get this page from our SDK package here. It has lots of sample pages, so you can download this. Alright, so I got this page downloaded, and let's open it. Localhost, play. Alright. Okay, so that's the HD 720p video and audio from straight from RTSP camera, no transcoding by media server. It's gonna play just fine on iPhones, Androids. Now, when you need transcoding is when your camera is not supporting G711, then you can use live server, Unreal Live Server, to ingest that RTSP stream and transcode it to Opus audio. Alright, so next let me show you the webcam, the regular USB webcam. So I got the webcam. Let me configure the webcam in. Let me first rename this guy RTSP. Alright. So in live server, let's configure the Microsoft Live Cam. Let me choose MJPEG 720p HD. audio. Okay. So 600 kbps is not enough probably for 720p, so let me increase it a little bit. Let me increase it to about 1000. Yeah, that's good. So now notice you can encode it with H.264 codec and also VP8 and VP9. That's new codecs that we added in latest version of Live Server. So the best quality is going to be with VP9, but VP9 is not going to play on iPhones and not on Androids. VP8 will play on Androids, but not on iPhones. So to be compatible with all devices, you need to stick with H.264, unfortunately, for now, 2018. Alright, let's stick with H.264. 27. I got 27 live sources here in Live Server. So you can encode all of them and stream all of them at the same time as long as you have enough CPU power to encode all of them. Alright, so we have the live source configured. Let's create a new live broadcast here. It's going to be static live broadcast. Let's call it again Webcam. So it's going to be localhost in this case, and 27. That's the ID of the live source that I gave to this source. Okay, we're ready. So webcam now points to my local webcam, to my local USB web camera. Let's open the same page. Play it now. Okay, so now it's this USB web camera, and now it encodes Opus audio. So again, it's gonna play on any device, including iPhones. Low latency. You see, it's WebRTC, almost no delay. VP9 is going to give you even lower latency. H.264 is just a little bit higher latency. Okay, so that is the USB camera. And again, any source that gives you H.264 live video can play with WebRTC camera. I have HLS ingest here, HLS source that ingests HLS stream. So maybe crazy idea, but you could also play this guy with WebRTC player. So it ingests HLS. Let's play it with our player first, so you can see what it is. HLS ingest. Okay. Alright, so that's National Geographic HLS Full HD. Yes, Full HD. So see, it encodes AAC, not gonna play with WebRTC. You need to transcode. You really need to transcode it to Opus in this case. But video will play. So let's stop that. Let me rename this guy to USB, right? That's USB camera, and call this webcam, because my web page plays alias named webcam, so let's call that webcam. Right, open the same WebRTC player. You can do it with Firefox, do it with Chrome. You can do it with Edge, as long as your Edge is the latest Edge. So update your operating system and Edge is going to play as well. Okay. The only issue that you can face here is if the H.264 stream contains B-frames, WebRTC player is not going to play well. So make sure your live encoder does not produce B-frames. Unfortunately, WebRTC, because it's geared for low latency, doesn't support B-frames. We filed a bug to Chrome and they will probably maybe fix it, but for now no B-frames support. So that's HLS ingest streaming to WebRTC player. Maybe not the best idea because this is geared to low latency live, but you can do it. What you can really do with HLS ingest is, ingest one HLS stream and then multicast it. For example, to your local area network, to VLC players with MPEG-2 transfer stream. So if you do that, then your set-top boxes in your local area network or your VLC players will play just fine because this is MPEG-2. So you convert a HLS to MPEG-2 transfer stream multicast. For VLC player, you need to wrap it in RTP container. You need to do this, and then you can play in VLC. All computers in your LAN. Okay, again, to summarize, any incoming content that's encoded in H.264, Opus or G711, and obviously VP9, VP8 can be played with WebRTC player like this on any browser, any device. Alright, so that's playing. Now what about publishing? Let me show you how you can publish from web browser to media server, and again play it with player. So let's rename this guy, right? Let's call it Webcam HLS, and let's create another broadcast that's WebRTC here, right? You select WebRTC, let's call it Webcam again, Webcam. Okay, that's the WebRTC ingest. Okay, you need to specify the password to protect the stream, so not anyone can publish stream to that broadcast. So let me let's call it WebRTC test. Okay. So the publishing is from pretty much any web browser again. We provide a web page, secure web page. You can publish from there, or you can host again that web page. You can host it in your web browser, and again this web page can be found in our SDK. Let me change this from my built-in camera to this USB webcam. Apply. So that is now the USB camera. So you can publish just the audio or just the video. Change the resolution, frame rate. Here on the publishing settings, you provide the alias of your live broadcast, which is webcam as we created. Okay. The IP address of media server, that's pretty important. If it's localhost like here, you're not going to face any mixed content problems. But if it's some real media server IP address, then you're gonna probably have mixed content warnings and errors. We have detailed instructions of how to solve those issues, but the problem is that in order to get access to the camera, you need to load this page under secure, under HTTPS. but our signaling is done through WebSockets. So you really, to avoid all those warnings, you need to use secure WebSocket and install an SSL certificate, real SSL certificate, not a test certificate. A real certificate on your web server. Because right now it's using the web page is loaded under secure, but the WebSocket is not secure. So it's gonna work right now just because it's localhost. Okay, let's start publishing. And it says incorrect password. Of course, I did not update the password here. I said it's WebRTC test. WebRTC test. Hit apply. And notice you can choose also UDP or TCP publishing. In the player as well, you can choose UDP or TCP delivery. Okay, let's publish. And it says publishing in progress, and here on live encoder connections you can see receiving stream over WebRTC UDP in this time, right? Let us play this guy. Play. And yes, it plays whatever we're publishing. So you can do one-to-many with this technology. You can publish, so someone can publish, and then lots of people can open the player and play. On the publishing page, you can choose Opus or G711. You can specify the bitrate, and we support here 3 profiles on H.264, high main and constrained baseline, and you can choose one of those. Again, if your audience is going to be just desktops, then probably it's better to choose VP9 or VP8. But if your audience is going to play with mobile devices, you have to stick with H.264. Right? Right, that's about publishing. Now let me tell you about this one-to-many functionality. In our website, if you go to SDK, you can get this WebRTC multichat from the SDK. It's a ready web application. You just download it and put it under your web server, and it's ready to go. So it allows you 5 people multi-chat, one-to-many video conferencing. I got it installed here, and let me launch it. So it supports 5 users, user 1, user 2, user 3, user 4, user 5. Passwords are the same. Okay. So it picks my my built-in camera. Let me. Okay, I have too many. See, I have a free version of media server. So it can accommodate only 5 broadcasts. So let me first delete some of those. Delete. Alright, let me log out. Okay. Let me log in again. Okay, so this guy picks up my built-in USB camera built into my laptop. I'm streaming. Now let's do Firefox. Same page in Firefox. Localhost, WebRTC. Let me copy that from here. So that's like another user. Trying to show you two users. Okay, user 2, right? Oh, let's do user 3. User 3. Okay. I'm gonna use this guy, the USB camera. Okay, so I'm using two cameras here. One is built into my laptop, and another is the USB camera, external USB camera. So you can see this guy immediately picks up the stream, right? So now let's see what happens when I start streaming here. Start streaming here. This is user 3 streaming. Then see, it picks up the stream here. So if you connect, if other users will connect, each one sees everyone else. So that's the multi-conference, multi-user video conference. All right, let's stop that. Once I stop the streaming from here, it will disappear from this window, right? And once I stop streaming from here, it will soon go away from this window. So very simple. You can modify, there is full source code, you can modify the source of this, of course, of this very simple web application. But it does publishing and playing. Allows 5 people video conferencing. Alright. Hope that was not too boring. Thank you for joining us.